Welcome to Discipleship Biblical Narratives. This is the show where we uncover timeless stories of Scripture, stories that hold hidden gems for our lives today. I'm your host, Monica. Tonight, we step into the valleys of ancient Judah. That's right, viewers. Today's story is about Jabez. He's a fleeting figure found in 1 Chronicles 4:9-10. Yet his bold prayer changed his destiny and offers profound lessons for us all. Prepare to be transported to the 5th century BCE. Israel was piecing itself back together after the heartbreak of exile. The backdrop is vivid. Persian kings rule the land. The temple is being rebuilt. The people cling to God's promises amid drought and danger. In this setting, we meet Jabez, a humble landowner whose name carried the weight of pain, yet his faith shone brighter than his circumstances. We'll unpack his 4-part prayer. It was a cry for blessing, expansion, guidance, and protection. It wasn't just for himself, it became a beacon for a nation rebuilding its soul. Jabez's story speaks to everyone, to the man navigating career pressures, to the woman balancing dreams and duties, even to the child facing schoolyard fears. From ancient hills to modern struggles, this is a story of transformation. It speaks to every age and every stage of life. Picture this, it's the 5th century BCE. The Persian Empire stretches from Egypt's sands to India's rivers. Kings like Darius and Artaxerxes ruled vast domains. Among them was a small, resilient remnant in Judah. First came the Assyrians in 722 BCE. They devoured the northern tribes, scattering them into history. Then in 586 BCE, Nebuchadnezzar struck. Babylon's armies stormed Jerusalem. The Holy Temple was reduced to smoldering rubble. Judah's sons and daughters were marched into exile. For 70 years they languished in Babylon, just as the prophet Jeremiah had foretold. But God's faithfulness stirred like the dawn. Hope pierced the starless night of exile. In 539 BCE, Cyrus the Great rose in power. Moved by God's unseen hand, he issued a decree. The exiles could return home. They would rebuild the temple and restore covenant life. Picture the caravans crossing deserts. Children clutched their parents' hands. Donkeys carried pots, tools, and fragile dreams. In 538 BCE, Zerubbabel led the first wave. 50,000 strong, they returned to the land. They laid the temple's foundation amid both joy and grief. Decades later, Ezra the scribe arrived. He brought Persian gold in his arms and a burning desire to revive God's law. In 445 BCE, Nehemiah left the Persian court. The royal cupbearer became a builder. He rebuilt Jerusalem's walls against mocking foes. It was in this season of mending that Chronicles was written, likely between 400 and 300 BCE. His mother gave birth in pain. She named him Jabez. He causes pain. Yet Scripture pauses in the genealogies. It declares, Jabez was more honorable than his brothers. He was likely a landowner in Judah's hills. He tilled parched soil and herded sheep on terraced slopes. Born under exile's shadow, Jabez carried a burdensome name, but his honor won him respect among men, and his faith won him favor with God. One day, threats loomed over him, raids, drought, locusts, and taxes. But Jabez refused to bow to fate. Alone, perhaps under an olive tree, he prayed, "Oh, that you would bless me indeed, enlarge my territory. Let your hand be with me, keep me from harm, so I will be free from pain." And God granted his prayer. The heavens answered with unseen affirmation. The power lay not in spectacle, but in faith. Jabez fades from the record as quickly as he appeared. But his legacy remains a beacon. It shows God's heart through one man's faith. It teaches us to rise above labels, pray boldly, and walk in obedience. The same God who bent down to hear Jabez's cry bends down to hear yours today. Think about that. The creator of the universe, who holds the stars in place, is not too busy or too distant to hear the cry of your heart. Just as he leaned in to listen to Jabez, he leans in to listen to you. If you feel small or overlooked, remember Jabez. God heard him. Jabez wasn't a king or a prophet, and yet God paused, he noticed, and he answered. That means no one is too small for God's attention. You may feel invisible to others, but you are never invisible to him. If you carry pain or labels from your past, remember Jabez. God redefined him. His very name meant pain, a reminder of struggle and hardship. But God did not let his name or his past define his future. When you bring your story to God, he can write a new chapter. What others may have spoken over you does not have the final word. God does. The God who heard Jabez, the man with a painful name and a hopeful heart, also hears you right now. So never forget, your prayers are not wasted words. So pray boldly, pray specifically, pray with faith. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Thank you for joining us on this journey. May His blessings fill your life abundantly, and until next time, stay blessed.